Watch this.
While the unemployment rate has been steady at 4.3%, the black unemployment rate has been 7.3%. When you ran for president, you courted black voters and talked about what you described as black jobs. How do you describe why this disparity is happening?
Don't focus so much on the title, black jobs, that you miss the box that he puts us in.
But where we're really going to do well is when all these plants are open. You know, we're building many car plants. We're bringing cars back from Germany. We're bringing, you know, we lost the car industry years ago. Black worker is really going to do well is when those factories open. So I think
what he is saying is that he believes that black people should only have factory jobs. This is exactly why getting licenses, certifications, degrees, this is exactly why it matters. The trend around education not mattering is extremely and particularly harmful to the black community, especially with a president like this. So the notion that you don't need education is insane. Now, people have said you don't need a degree to get into tech. You don't. But you need a certification. You need some level, some degree of education that tells a company that you're educated and you are a subject matter expert or that you're skilled at a thing. This man is single-handedly dismantling the possibilities of black people gaining wealth through employment. And don't tell me it never happened, because if I own $300,000 of equity in a major tech company, you can't tell me that won't create long-term wealth for my family. So, yes, make sure that you're working a good.
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. I hope if you're watching, you're having a great time. Now, Trump was asked about how the American economy is doing, especially when it comes to job creation and how people were being absorbed. And there is this term that he likes using each and every time when he's asked about how his government is performing when it comes to black people. He talked about how black jobs are going on well and manufacturing is coming back so that black jobs are becoming more. And he says that black people should be proud that the positive prospects that are coming with his election is being seen and that Joe Biden did not do a good job. But people have been left asking one question. Why is it that when he's talking about jobs in the United States, in many instances, he's not calling them black jobs? But then when asked about how his government is performing when it comes to the black community, he will specifically talk about black jobs being on the rise and that there are positive things that black people should be proud of. Why does he use these black jobs? Because many people, especially activists and even people who understand economy, have always thought that Donald Trump is being very cheeky with this term. In fact, many people have said that this is very disrespectful to the black community, people who have given so much to America. Donald Trump has faced intense backlash for using that phrase because critics, economists, and civil rights warriors have termed it as racially reductionist, historically offensive, and factually inaccurate. Why does he have to talk about black jobs? Many black people are coming online to speak about this term because they are feeling like it seems in the mind of Donald Trump, he believes that they are just jobs meant for black people that other minority groups cannot do. He believes that there are jobs for blacks that white people cannot do, and that raises a lot of questions and it really pushes that narrative, the racial undertones that have always been accompanying his engagement with black community. Many people have said that Trump doesn't seem to respect black people. From the onset, his association and his relationship with blacks has been laced with many racial undertones. Everything he does, he has always done them against black people. Look at how currently his policies are skewed against minorities. For example, when he's talking about how birthright citizenship is going to be limited, that is a strategy that is being used to start eliminating the birthright citizenship that many black Americans have in the United States. So a lot of things he's been doing are really not according to what black people would wish. So in this clip, I've compiled a series of clips where black people are talking about this term. They are not really happy that Trump, each and every time when he's talking about job growth within the black community, he has to refer to them as black jobs. Why are they black jobs? Looking at the history of the United States and how America has been there, we know that those jobs that black people were put to work in under serious force from whites were in their farms, were domestic work, were menial jobs that did not have proper pay. So if you look at job losses that people have had, many blacks have lost jobs in corporate settings. But Trump is talking about how black jobs are rising, does it mean that blacks don't deserve to work in these corporate settings and the only places they have to work in are those menial jobs? Take a listen to some of the opinions black Americans have over this issue. I shall come back in the end with my commentaries.
So Donald Trump believes there are black jobs. Black jobs. And Hispanic jobs apparently as well. Okay, let's talk about it. When Donald Trump says...
The fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs.
What do you think he means by that? Donald Trump was born in 1946, meaning he grew up in the 1950s at a time when most black jobs looked like this, or like this. And in his mind, Hispanic jobs basically look like this, or like this. Because Donald Trump pretty much deals in stereotypes of people of color. He thinks of black people as basically field hands, porters at his golf clubs, well, when they were allowed to be there, the kitchen boy, maybe the people who are the maid or the butler, or an athlete. Like that to him is a black job, right? Like being an NFL player or a boxer or something like that. But in general, he thinks of black people as low-level workers and Hispanics as low-level workers. And so that's why he's equating them specifically to the jobs he's claiming that illegals, meaning undocumented people, the proper way to say it, are taking. But is that even the case? At the moment, the black unemployment rate is at record lows. No, Donald Trump, the record low black unemployment in the history of the time that they've, taken this number by race is not under your administration. It's under the current one, under Joe Biden. The current black African-American unemployment rate at 4.8% in April of 2023 beat the record low unemployment rate during the Trump era of 5.3%. And the unemployment rate for African Americans and for Latinos, and really for all Americans, had already been trending down under President Obama. Donald Trump inherited a really great economy, and until COVID, it just continued to cook until he messed it up by messing up COVID. And then unemployment shot up to 14.9%, which was like a record high in the last many decades. But before then, unemployment was definitely low. But black unemployment has been really low. And African Americans actually have very multifaceted employment opportunities now. Blacks aren't all field workers, porters, and the golf boy and kitchen boy at your club, Donald. That's like the past. Maybe that's the time you want to make America great again, too, but that ain't today.
I'm here at the 84th Grand Conclave of Mega Psi Phi Fraternity. What better place to ask, what type of jobs do African Americans have? Because, obviously, it's not the stereotype. What do you do for a living?
I'm a retired New York City principal.
What do you do for a living?
I work in sales in Columbus, Ohio.
What do you do for a living?
I do technical sales. I build public safety networks.
I'm a supervisor for a catering company for the airlines, so I make sure everybody's safe and going home at night.
Software engineer, Kennedy Space Center.
Attorney. I work for the district government.
I'm an IT guy for Northrop Grumman.
I'm an IT project coordinator on my own tech business.
What I do for a living? I'm a software manager.
Lots of people have various jobs, and they're not equivalent to the kind of jobs that undocumented immigrants typically have. But let's talk about their employment for a moment, shall we? And here's where we get to the absolute racism of what Donald Trump was trying to say. The occupations where undocumented immigrants make up the largest share of workers. What's the one at the top? Agricultural workers. That's about 244,000 undocumented migrants as of 2014. Number two, grounds maintenance workers. You see where I'm going? Top industries: agriculture, construction, administrative support, tourism, hospitality, general services, but also things like food preparation, service-related, hospital food service workers, textile workers, factory workers, that kind of thing. A lot of undocumented people do really difficult physical labor jobs, is what I'm trying to say. And they fill a lot of those jobs And employers love it because there actually aren't enough American workers to fill those jobs themselves. But they aren't the majority of those workers. No, they are 25 or 30%. They are a percentage of those workers. Do you know what the rest of those workers are? Documented immigrants and Americans. So both Americans and immigrants and undocumented, all three are employed to the point where our unemployment rate is basically full employment. If undocumented workers were somehow taking other people's jobs, we wouldn't be at full employment. American workers would be hunting for jobs that they can't get, but that's not the case. But I think it's helpful to go back and remind yourself again the kinds of jobs that Donald Trump thinks are Black and Hispanic jobs, because he's stereotyping African Americans, American Blacks, as being the replaceable sort of equivalent of undocumented workers who work primarily in physical construction or agriculture work. Doesn't that sound like he means that Blacks should go back into the fields and basically do menial labor? Because that's what he's saying. Because if he's saying that it is undocumented workers taking this kind of work, or this kind of work, or this kind of work from the Blacks, that's what he thinks are Black jobs. And I assume this is what he thinks are Hispanic jobs. It's always helpful to know what politicians actually think of you when they're asking for your votes. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Oh, and one more thing. Donald Trump might want to note that these are also Black jobs, meaning the prosecutors and judges who are waiting on you, Donald, if you don't get back into the White House, because you're going on trial. And the Black jobs people, they're going to be your judges and your prosecutors and maybe some of your jurors. Have a nice day, Donald, and best of luck.
Trump said that the Black jobs are doing very well.
Well, we're doing very well with the Black jobs, African American jobs.
I thought people just had jobs. I didn't know there was Black jobs. You know what I'm saying? I thought people just had jobs.
The Black jobs are doing very well. The Black jobs are doing very well. I think they're doing well. Biden didn't do a good job with the Black jobs. Black jobs are fantastic. Fantastic. They're amazing. We have mass incarceration. Black jobs are so perfect. They're doing such cheap labor in prisons. We got NFL. We got basketball. They're doing jumping high, running fast.
And where your Black worker is really going to do well is when those factories open.
So Black jobs are doing fantastic. Now we just got to get them back on the fields. We got to get the cotton. We got to get the sugar. We got to get it back. The Black jobs are doing phenomenal. Our plan is working perfectly. Perfectly, okay? Those are the Black jobs I'm talking about. I don't know what jobs you're talking about. You're talking about doctor, lawyer. No. We got that. White guys. White people have that. You guys got to get back to what you're good at.
And I hope y'all know that man who sat up underneath that high yellow ass tie and told them motherfucking people, look them straight in their eye and said, we're doing very well with Black jobs, African American jobs. He meant McDonald's, Walmart, Walgreens, gas station, specifically Circle K and Racetrack, Stein's, Home Depot, the hospital cleaning team, the Hasto, Kroger checkout, pretty much just about any motherfucking nursing home you can think of. CNA, not nurse, because they've already tried to make that not a motherfucking professional degree. And I wonder the fuck why.
Talking about some working in factories. No, you orange bitch. My facial expression has not changed. What you gonna do about it if I don't? Like, what's that fetal alcohol syndrome looking South African gonna do if I don't either? Facial expression still ain't changed. I don't hear a whole lot of dudes with small dicks at my door telling me I have to do so. So I don't think I'm going to do it.
What is a Black job?
While the unemployment rate has been steady at 4.3%, the Black unemployment rate has been 7.3%. When you ran for president, you courted Black voters and talked about what you described as Black jobs. How do you describe why this disparity is happening? What can you do to close that?
I know what Black professionals are. I know what that is, but what is a Black job?
We're doing very well with the black jobs, African American jobs. I saw some numbers that we're doing really well. But we're
What numbers? We're not looking at the same numbers because black unemployment is 7.3% right now. So what numbers is he talking about? Oh, well, in case you don't know either, he's about to tell us about some job numbers and some black jobs. Or it might have been yesterday.
really going to do well is when all these plants are open. We're building many car plants. We're bringing cars back from Germany. We're bringing, we lost the car industry years ago. 54% of the industry went to Germany, Japan, Canada, Mexico. It's all coming back. It's amazing.
What's amazing is that anybody listens to this drivel. Black unemployment did not become this imbalanced when cars started being manufactured in Germany. That's not what happened. So don't fall for this okie doke. That's not the story. This is when it happened. When Elon Musk and the fake governmental body called Doge went into the government and began eviscerating organizations and removing people from their desks. That was a part of it. When they dismantled DEI, when they dismantled affirmative action, that's when black unemployment was under attack. Please do not get it twisted. This is crazy. And according to him, just as soon as we get car manufacturing and other factories up and running, black jobs are going to come roaring back. Because I guess black people only work in factories. Is there anything wrong with working in factories? No. But when you look at black unemployment and you look at who has actually been displaced from the workforce, guess what? It isn't factory workers, it's black professionals. So now I'd like to point your attention to Exhibit A last week when I told you guys that it is erroneous to tell black professionals who have been displaced from the workforce that they should pursue the trades. I wasn't wrong. You have to understand that there is an emerging system that is trying to push people into a labor force that will serve industry, because industry is going to be booming. Why is it going to be booming? Because of AI. I am saying that there is a future, a not far distant, far away future, where there will be so many people who are building companies that they use artificial intelligence to either manage the companies or actually build the companies. And those companies will need some human bodies to serve, to work, to keep the cogs turning and the wheels turning. So listen, I have been saying for now going on 4 years that the best position to be in is to be a person who understands how to build businesses using artificial intelligence. Why? Because the building pipeline when you use AI is just simply faster, and you can get to market quicker, and you can get back to earning revenue faster. That's why. And so if we get stuck in the mindset of, oh, big bad AI, that's a bad place to be, because they already have plans for you.
Raise your hand if you believe that this man is doing well with the black jobs. And before I show y'all the stats of what's really going on, let's roll the clip.
While the unemployment rate has been steady at 4.3%, the black unemployment rate has been 7.3%. When you ran for president, you courted black voters and talked about what you described as black jobs. How do you describe why this disparity is happening? What can you do to close that?
Well, we're doing very well with the black jobs, African American jobs. I saw some numbers that we're doing really well. But where we're really going to do well is when all these plants are open. We're building many car plants. We're bringing cars back from Germany.
Dense, shallow followers will be like, why you guys make everything about race? And then they lopsided president over there hiding something under his hands, because he's definitely trying to keep them hands covered, talking about African-American jobs, black jobs. Let's get into the stats. The unemployment rate for my community is 7.3% in April, while the national employment rate remained steady at 4.3% according to the federal labor data. Economists tied the increase to Trump's dismantling of the federal workforce, where black Americans have historically relied on stable government jobs after decades of discrimination in the private sector. All the things I just read came from this article right here. The Purge, Black Leaders, Workforce in History under Trump's Remaking of America. Articles from last month, though. This article right here in that title, yeah, it came out today, June 5th, 2026. Or maybe he's not lying and he believes that black jobs means that we shouldn't have many of them.
So I got an honest question. What is a black job? What is a black job? I did not see the full debate, y'all, because I've been going through some stuff, but I saw clips and I want to know what a black job is. So I did some research and I found out what black jobs are. Before I get into it, like, follow, share, tag someone who may need to see this. I did some research because I'm a researcher. I'm real resourceful. So I went to Black Twitter and I have your list of black jobs. So here's the list. Lash tag barber, food stamp seller, racist, bottle girl, club promoter. Really? This list is really, really fast, but this is a list, y'all. This is what black jobs are. I'm a wig influencer, so I guess I got a black job. Podcaster, that's a black job too. DVD bootlegger, you know what? I'm so done with this list. Who made this list? Who made this list? They ought to be ashamed of it. I don't know what to think at this point. I don't know if I should be offended or if I should laugh. You know, we can't be serious about anything anyway, but the fact that a list was even made was beyond me. But now I got the answer to my question. What a black job is.
Folks didn't have grants to open businesses. Black folks couldn't get loans for their masters to excel in their areas of work. But we good enough to work in fucking factories? This is what that man was talking about. The labor force is black people. They can't make us slaves. So the next best place is to put us in a factory where we work our bodies to death. If you black and you voted for this man, please be the first one to line up for that labor. Cause bitch, I'll.
So basically, the black jobs was actually the jobs that the illegal immigrants was working, getting underpaid for. And that's what the fuck Trump plan was the whole goddamn time, was to get us back into these warehouses and in these fields picking strawberries and shit for little pay. I just came across a video that actually brought it all to me and made it make sense. And that's exactly what the fuck it is. When he say a black job, those are the jobs that he's talking about. Those illegal immigrants came over here, or even immigrants came over here, and they worked their ass off just for that little pay, which I don't feel that that's right. But he knew that no black person was going to go over there and do all that extra work in this economy and the last economy and get paid that little ass shit. So I just want all my black people to understand, and I want all my black people to know, even if those jobs are available, those jobs are not for you. And if we come over here trying to pick up the slack and pick up where everybody else pick up where they left off, baby, this country ain't gonna do shit but turn us back into fucking slaves. And I'll be damned if I be a motherfucking slave. If that job didn't have open positions when them illegal immigrants was here working them, they ain't got none.
Hello guys, welcome back. I think you've heard how Donald Trump is referring to the jobs within black community. And I guess we have to appreciate that Donald Trump has been this way for a very long time. People have accused him for many racist slurs that he's used over the years. And I don't think rising to presidency could change him. In fact, if you look at how he has behaved even with many public issues, he has always been very, very flippant in terms of how he addresses some points. He has never shown any form of seriousness when addressing important national issues. And therefore, when it comes to racism and how he relates with black people, I don't think he could change in any way. But still, even in these kind of circumstances, you'll get to see that there are some black people who still think that Donald Trump is the best president that has ever been there for the black community. You know, I have heard many times when people talk about President Barack Obama and say that he didn't do much to the black community. That can be given. He might not have done what black people had expected. Remember, he was the first living black president that people experienced. And therefore, a lot of expectations was in his shoulders. Black people expected that many things that have shown how systemic racism and discrimination is working within the American system would be eliminated, and that black people would have an equal plate as that which white people are getting. But in reality, things did not change to the expectations of many black people. First of all, you have to understand that the level of discrimination and systemic injustice that has been embedded within the legal framework in America was so heavy that just 2 terms of President Barack Obama could not really overhaul it. Obama also was working for people who put him in office. He was not just voted in by black people. he was voted in, majority votes were from white people. And therefore, if he went ahead to start implementing changes that would directly affect whites, then he would lose favor of both houses and even of the American public, especially white majority. And therefore, he was also working within this thin line of ensuring that while he wants to make black people have that change, he also impressed black people. He also was able to impress white people. And by the mere fact that Donald Trump has been attacking everything that Obama did, everything that Joe Biden did, everything that Kamala Harris tried to do, it tells you how he has a low opinion of people who support diversity. And therefore, when you look at him touting his job numbers and saying that black jobs are coming in, black jobs are going to be well organized within his administration, it tells you the level of disgust he gets when talking about black people. Barack Obama, by just running for presidency and winning it, was a mind-shifting thing for the black community. Just because he rose to the top office in the land, it was an aspiration that God gave black people to know that they can work to achieve everything that they ever want to achieve. Just because of that, many black people changed their mindset and believed that there are certain things, there are certain aspirations that we have, that it doesn't matter our background, it doesn't matter where we come from, we can still rise to the top. And blacks have now changed their mindset. Remember, there are certain things that once done, it is easy to achieve again. But if those records have not been broken, it becomes a very difficult thing when you tell somebody that now I wanted to achieve this target that has never been achieved before. Right now, black people know that with the right friends and proper planning, they are able to support one of their own to rise to the top office in the land. So why is it that you find that black people right now are very mad when they're listening to Donald Trump speaking about black jobs and disparaging them, talking about them lowly? Why do you think these people are not really happy about it? There are many things that are causing black Americans to be angry by the fact that Donald Trump is referring to their work as black jobs. First of all, it is because of stereotyping and occupational segregation. Many black Americans and labor economists noted that the phrase subconsciously reinforces historical occupational segregation by signaling out certain employment opportunities as black jobs. The comment was seen as minimizing the broad ubiquity of black talent across high-wage sectors like medicine, law, and corporate executive roles. It inadvertently suggested that black workers belong to a separate lower-income economic tier rather than occupying all ranks of the national economy. This kind of behavior or these utterances made black people believe that that segregation that existed years ago is also within the employment sector, that black people are just supposed to be doing certain type of jobs. There are certain jobs that blacks are not allowed to touch, but others are what belong to them. So it really segregated black people from certain jobs that are high value jobs, because it is in the mindset of Donald Trump and many white supremacists that black people only belong to the farms. And that is not happening any sooner. Another reason why black people are mad is that this kind of tone evokes pre-civil rights era segregation. Prominent critics have pointed out that the terminology triggers a visceral reaction because it mirrors the rhetoric used before anti-discrimination laws. Historically, classified ads explicitly designated certain low-wage minimum labor jobs as available only to black applicants. Using these phrases revived memories of an era when racial categorization legally restricted career advancement. I'm sure many white supremacists listening to Donald Trump are very happy when he's talking about black jobs, knowing that there are white jobs and there are black jobs. We also have the categorization of jobs where we say white-collar jobs and blue-collar jobs. I'm sure the term blue was just used to run away from how it could directly link black people to those kind of jobs. But we know the white-collar job creation or terminology was something that had racist undertones within it. Another issue is pitting marginalized communities against each other. The context of Trump's comment claiming that undocumented immigrants are crossing the southern border to take these black jobs, was heavily criticized as an attempt to exploit racial anxieties. Advocacy groups and political commentators argued that the narrative weaponized xenophobia due to divide black communities and immigrant populations. It ignored data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics showing that overall native-born employment remained resilient rather than being systematically displaced. So looking at these factors working together, you get to see that there are many reasons as to why Donald Trump believes that blacks deserve specific jobs while others deserve other jobs. I think we have to really have a system within which we can change some of the issues that we face in our system. Donald Trump has not really projected himself as being presidential because he has a lot of things that show and sow division within the American public. Share your thoughts down in the comment section. If you're watching us for the first time, kindly remember to subscribe to the channel. Let's meet on the next one.